I did mention there were a couple of other things I wanted to talk about. Let me get to them very quickly. Yesterday or today, it was yesterday, right, Nate? The 11th? Yeah, yesterday was the 16th anniversary of Gitmo and the indefinite detention of these people at Guantanamo illegally. I mean, this is a violation of international law. In my opinion, it's a violation of U.S. law. It was the beginning of George W. Bush taking us down the road to no longer being the United States that I thought I grew up in, and I think that you know, the people who organized this country had some belief in those values of the Enlightenment and all that. And the event that that Nate did, it's got a little booklet. It says there's a man under that hood in solidarity with prisoners at Guantanamo Bay, past and present. Beautiful poem in the back of it. I can't take the time to read the whole thing, but there's just, you know, and Guantanamo by the numbers as of December of last year, as of last month. 780 is the total number of detainees who've been held at Gitmo. 700 have been released, most without ever having been charged after being detained for years. 26, minimum number of prisoners who were tortured before being transferred to Gitmo. 21, the number of children imprisoned at Gitmo. Remember, was it John Yoo? I'm pretty sure it was, or Jay Bybee. It was one of them who said, crushing the testicles of the son of a prisoner in front of him is an effective way to interrogate him. 9 is the number of Guantanamo detainees who died while in custody, 7 presumed by suicide. $10 million is the cost to house a detainee for 1 year in Gitmo. And we have 5 prisoners in Gitmo who long ago were cleared for release, and Trump won't let them go. It's amazing. It's just, it's shocking. It's just absolutely shocking. And also, wanted to let you know, we just organized this yesterday, laid it down yesterday. Code Pink had, you know, the great activist group, codepink.org is their website. And Code Pink is organizing a trip to Cuba, February 25 to March 4, and Louise and I are going along. And so, they've extended, it was supposed to close yesterday, but they've extended it until next Tuesday. If you would like to participate in this trip, you can probably find it at codepink.org at their website, but there's a very specific link for the trip. And I sent a note this morning to Louise and to Nigel asking them to be sure to put it up at the top of our website at thomhartmann.com, because it's a longer link than I can read on the air. I assume that either Louise or Nigel did that. If they haven't, they will shortly. And so if you'd like to join us, hang out, we'll have a lot of fun. And I've never been to Cuba. I'm really looking forward to it. So that's some of the housekeeping stuff, or some of the events that are going on. The Code Pink site, by the way, is codepink.org/travel_with_codepink, all lowercase. So that'll get you there. Todd in Ramsey, Minnesota. Hey, Todd, what's on your mind today?
Good morning, Tom. I just want to make a comment about Trump's hate speech. If there's any doubt in anyone's mind that there was racism at its root, all you have to do is look just a little bit past the most offensive part of the statement, where Trump continues and says, why don't we have more immigrants from Norway?
Right.
Why on earth would he choose Norway out of all the countries in the world? He picks Norway off the top of his head, like we have people lined up from Norway trying to come to America.
Yeah, no, it's kind of the other way around. My grandfather and grandmother were both from Norway, and thanks, Todd. I'm sorry, I'm getting a feedback off your phone. Both my grandparents on my father's side literally were Norwegian immigrants. And when George Bush was elected, before I was doing this show, Louise and I were living in Vermont. We were retired. We had sold a business. And I contacted the Norwegian embassy and said, you know, if things go the way I think they're going here in the United States, I'd like to move to Norway. What do I have to do? And they were like, well, first you have to be proficient in Norwegian, which my grandparents refused to teach my father, and therefore my father couldn't teach me. And then the rules got even harder after that. So I was like, okay, I can't move to Norway. But I don't know that Norwegians want to move here either. In fact, I tweeted this this morning. It was either early this morning or late last night. I woke up in the middle of the night around midnight, between midnight and 2. I think I tweeted a couple times. You know, basically saying, I can't imagine anybody, you know, I lived for a year in Germany. My grandparents are from Norway on my father's side. And I know a lot of Europeans. I have, you know, we have 2 Europeans who work with us on this show. And you know, I'm back in Europe literally every year. I've worked with this German charity since 1978, and I get back to Germany. Well, not now. It's not every year. Sometimes every other year. But you know, I'm in Europe constantly, and I don't know any Europeans who would give up free college education, high-quality public schools, world-class infrastructure with bullet trains and inexpensive public transportation that really works well, free medical care, instantaneous, no charge ever, a quality of life that's breathtaking, some of the longest lifespans on the planet. I don't know any European, and low inequality, very few homeless people, very little poverty. In Switzerland, there's literally not even one slum. I don't know any Europeans who would trade Europe for the blank hole that Ronald Reagan and the Republican Party have tried to turn this country into over the last 35 years.